Hi everybody, welcome to day 10. It's Audrey. Thank you so much for being here. We're winding down here. I can't believe we're on day 10 already. Today's guest is Raquel Bowman. I absolutely love her style. Her pages are so beautiful and simple, but just so many little details and just perfection. So go check out her channel. I think you'll love her pages. So for today, I am working with a picture you can see at the top there. It is a picture of my kiddos on one of the rides, the swing at the state fair. And we go to the fair every summer. But I printed it very large for me. It's about a 5x7. And I wanted to print it big just because I love the photo and there was so much going on. I just wanted the whole thing to be much larger so you could see all the detail in it, you know, the swing and the kids' faces and such. So I wanted to portray some movement on my background, and I decided to play around and do something I haven't really done yet in this series, and that is use some inks and a little bit of stamping and some stencils. So I picked out a whole bunch of chevron patterns because I think that they, show movement very well and direction. And I really wanted the color that I put through these stencils to be very controlled. So I just am using some small ink pads. Some of these ink pads are ancient and I haven't used them in so long. So I'm just going to go through with some colors that I think pick up some of the colors in the photo, like some yellows and corals and a navy and even some red. So I pulled out this roller stamp too. This is an old one from Glitz. And this is pretty fun. I like how this stamp is working. Whenever I use my stamps on a page, all of a sudden it makes me want to use every single stamp I have because I have so many great stamps and I do not use them nearly enough. So I am considering doing a stamping series coming up sometime this summer because I feel like doing it. And I really want to share some stamping stuff and use my stamp stash. So anyway, I took another little red one there. I had printed out, or I'd cut out a cut file too. It was a chevron cut file, but once I got all that background on there, and I was going to use the cut file, I just thought it was too much, so I'll use this cut file on another page. So I'm going to splatter some teal inks there, and I felt like I needed just one more swipe of that chevron, the navy blue chevron, add some mustard yellow. And then I thought I would add in a little bit more texture and a little bit more interest, but not a ton of color because I already had a ton of colors going on. And I'm going to use a stencil that kind of has like arrows going back and forth with some white modeling paste. And it's very difficult to see on the video, and it's very hard to see it. But when you see the close-ups at the end, you can really notice the texture. And I really love what the texture added to the page, especially, like I said, when you see it in person, which none of you ever will, so just trust me on this one. I guess you can kind of see it there a little bit on the left. So I felt like, again, I wanted to add a few more things, and like finding all the chevron things I can, and I wanted to use a lot of different media here. So I had the stamps and the modeling paste, the inks, and this is just some washi tape with some black zigzags. I at the end here, like my finished page, I was like, I don't know if I like the black so much because I don't really bring in black anywhere else. I wish it was navy. I think that would make a big difference, but okay, so I have this puffy sticker set from Ellie's Studio, and when I was flipping through my stuff, I saw that banner, and I immediately knew I had to use it because it's like all the exact colors in the photo. And I'm not usually matchy-matchy type of person. Well, I guess it depends, but I don't look for things that match my photo in particular. I'm more like the colors of my photo, I should say. I do look for things that match the theme of my photo, not necessarily always the colors, but anyway, I thought it matched the colors very well with the swing. And as I was going through that puffy sheet, I cut out the stars and just started scattering those around. I thought those were super cute. And I pulled out the die cut pack that also goes with this collection. I didn't find as much as I thought I was going to in the die cut pack, but I find a few elements in there that of course I will use. And then I pulled out this tag that had a little bit of teal on it, and I hadn't brought in teal yet. So I like the teal with the other colors, so I'm going to go through and find a few other teal elements. A couple more stars. These are from October Afternoon, and I only had a couple of them left on that sheet, and I thought I might as well use them. I pulled out that navy strip. I like it, but I don't end up using it because I just didn't have a place for it. I don't know, is that bad when you want to use something but you can't because it doesn't fit on your page, right? You just don't have a place for it? I guess not. It's a design. I mean, the design of a page means just as much to me, I think, sometimes as the story. That's why I like to do artsy stuff on my scrapbook pages, so I guess it is important to me. Okay, so backing my photo. I just picked a neutral kind of wood grain paper, but I just didn't think that gave it enough oomph off the page, so I am going to add in the teal here. Always got to check the back to make sure that you're not cutting into anything, because I have done that one too many times, or I've cut into something that I thought I would use in the back of the page. So I like the teal behind the photo. And I pulled this out. I pulled it out because of what it says. I can't even remember what it says now, but I liked the little saying on it. I don't think I would use the viewfinder, but then once I pulled that sticker off, I'm like, ooh, I like the circle. So I wanted to add some circular elements to the page, and I thought it would also pick up kind of on the spiral circles on the top of the swing that you can see there, just on part of the arms of the swing. So my first thought was these little tiny brads. These are from Simple Stories. So I pull out a couple of those and scatter those around. And then I went through my stash, and this is exactly what I was looking for. I love it when I find exactly what it is I needed. This is a piece of paper from Echo Park, and what I love about these little circles here, I don't know, I think they're supposed to be like umbrella tops, but they remind me of like circus tents, or like, you know, like a fair tent, and I was looking for like fair or carnival like images, and you know, I saw a lot of circus tent things, and so these kind of spokey wheels with the different colors, and of course the colors are perfect. There's coral and red and yellow and teal, and oh my gosh, I couldn't have picked a better piece of paper to match exactly what I needed. So I put a few of those on, and then I thought I needed a larger kind of circle, spokey circle. I always make up words. Spokey is not a word. A circle with spoke shapes. Anyway, I thought I needed one to the left of my photo because I had all those other ones scattered around, so I thought maybe I'll just make a big one. So I have this stencil. I actually made this stencil years ago, and I'm using some gelatos and I'm coloring it in, but I wanted to I'm showing you this. I don't end up using this either, but I'm showing you this because of how I actually use the stencil. So you can see I'm filling in the lines now, but what's cool about this stencil is that I can take it off and turn it just ever so slightly, and now I put my stencil part, the stencil itself, over the pieces I just colored, and I can fill in the slots in between. So this kind of is like a dual purpose kind of stencil. So there's lots of things you can do with this stencil, but that's just one of them. So there it is, and you make a complete circle that way. So I soaked up a little bit of the color, and it was way too bright. So I tried to tone it down with a little white ink, and then I wanted to, the white part in between the lines was too white, so I added a little antique linen, I think, distress ink, and then I thought, oh, it's going to look good, and I put it over there, and it was too big, so then I'm like, okay, just got to cut it down, and I cut this out, and I tucked that over there, and I don't like it. Nope. I even tried to go in between the lines here with another little ink pad, like a pink, I think. And it's too busy. Didn't like it. See ya. My daughter asked if she could have it, so she has put it in her own little scrapbook. So yeah. Oh well, I tried. So I went to my stash and I found this circle I had cut out from some other project, and it was kind of this ledger paper, which I thought would be great for a journaling spot, and that's what I'm going to put over there anyway. And I'm going to just spice it up a little bit by adding a blue border that matches the blue that I put to for behind the photo, the mat. And then I do stitch a line around that circle that you'll see towards the end here. So once I get the circle on, I'm much happier with that. It doesn't take away from the photo as much as that other really busy piece did. Embellish that with a couple of these small circles and just playing around with my labels and dies there. And I like that sticker that says fun. I tried to put those 2 stickers on the bottom that say smile big and favorite photo. I tried to put them on the top, but they overlapped the swing part of the picture, and I didn't want to do that. So I got that all set up. By the way, nothing is glued down yet. I thought I wanted to make my title in yellow. This is the 3rd time in this series that I have wanted to use a yellow title, now that I'm thinking about it. That's funny. The yellow couldn't be more perfect to match the swing. I loved it. But when I put that word swing on there, I felt it totally took away from the photo. Like, it drew your eye away from the photo because it was kind of trying to balance the yellow. So I wanted the yellow in the photo to be the strong element. I want the photo to be the strong element. So I decided to change the color. And instead I found these teal letters. They have blue glitter polka dots on them. I like that much better. It doesn't compete with the photo as much. It complements it more, and I think it allows the photo to stand out much better too. Had to add in a little heart. By the way, I also try to add a heart somewhere on every single page I do. So I add a heart and I add the date. Which, by the way, on this page, you'll notice at the very end, one of the close-up photos, I put my label in for my date. I actually forgot to stamp my date before I recorded, or before I took my picture of my layout. So I've got to remember to go back and do that. I wanted to add something to the banner, so I just put a brad there. And then thought I could use a little bit more teal now, so I added a few teal enamel dots. I love that little cluster over on the right on the journaling spot. So, all right, it's pretty much done. Let me go through and start adhering everything. You can see, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but when I was taking off the puffy stickers, instead of taking them off their backing paper, I just cut around their backing paper, which is clear, and that way I can put the stickers exactly where I want before I take them off and commit them to the page. So I am peeling them all off here. I'm a tad bit worried that some of these will not stick to the modeling paste I have put down. So the areas where there's modeling paste, I probably should go back and glue them on because I don't know if they're going to stick very well. So I get most of the things glued down, and I know I wanted to add, well, I was going to add stitching right after I finished my background because I knew I was going to add stitching, but then I kind of forgot about it because I got carried away with other things. So I'm going to go back in and add stitching here, but most of the circles now are glued down. The journaling spot with its little cluster are glued together, and I just have a couple loose pieces, not too many, but I know where they go, so I'm just going to place them to the side for a minute so that I can go stitch. And I did want to rough up the edge of that circle because it had a pencil line showing a little bit. Alright, so going to stitch, came back, stitched with teal thread on the background there, and I stitched with yellow thread around the circle. I love the interest that adds, and I'm just kind of pulling I pull my bobbin thread, and when you pull your bobbin thread, it pulls the top thread through to the back so that you don't have any stray threads hanging out the front of the layout. So that's what I'm doing is I'm pulling my bobbin threads to the back. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about scrapbooking on your pages, I happen to have a whole sewing tutorial way back, gosh, I don't know, I did it in September, I think. So go check that out if you're interested in learning more about sewing on your pages. A little plug, shameless plug for myself there. No, but a lot of people have said it's a very helpful video, so I hope that you enjoy it. Okay, I'm just adding in my journaling, and that's about it. I never actually show myself adding in my journaling, but I didn't realize I was recording, so there it is, and I forgot to add the date. Oh, and look, let me take my camera with me. So here's my finished page and a couple close-ups. I like how this came out. It was really fun. I love all the circles. I'm glad I found, there's my dateless label stamp. I'm glad I found the things to match perfectly. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed day 10. Just a few more days to go. I can't believe it. Stay scrappy, friends, and I'll see you soon.